We're going to talk about the methods of communication. What are the different ways? First of all, what is communication? So, first thing is communication means talking, expressing, sharing. Communication is two parties or multiple parties sending messages, receiving messages, acknowledging, feedbacking. So, this communication skill in today's scenario, how to present yourself, how to, whatever you have in your mind, how to let it be known to other person. So, the communication skill, it has become very important in present scenario, today's world, because everyone can speak, but if you speak well, if you are able to express well, whether it is business, whether it is interpersonal relationship, so any language, it is important that you, whatever language you learn, you are very good in reading, in writing, in speaking, and to understanding. Listening means to understand. So all these comes under communication. And if you know one language, you must know all of these. But if you can speak more than one language, if you can learn more than one or multiple languages. So the global language today is English. I'm not promoting English at all. I'm just saying that all over the world, this language between two people of different countries, for example, an Indian, Japanese, how are they going to talk? There is a common language, English. They can talk, they can discuss, they can share. But in order to actually talk, if you don't know English, either you have to learn Japanese or he has to learn Hindi. Right? So the native language, it can be your Bengali or Mandarin or any French. Along with that, you have to have English. What are different methods of communication? Communication is transmitting and receiving of information messages. So first thing comes here is this communication. How does this word came into being? This communication word has come from a Latin word called communicare. Communicare. And this means to share. What do you share? You share ideas, you share thoughts, you share feeling, you share expression. So if you are able to do it effectively, communicate effectively, this is the most important life skill. Even if you are not good at everything, if you are speaking well, for example, you say motivational speaker, why people run after them? Because they are good speaker. They can bind you with their talk, the way they speak, the word they utter. Okay? So may it be a private life or the social life or business life, the clear and concise communication is important, because either at work or business, you cannot write an essay or tell a story. You just have to be very clear, very concise. That is, in a paragraph, whatever is there, you need to have that skill to just say in few words or a sentence. Okay? So because there are multiple parties involved, the various stakeholders, like because when you talk about your family, the way you are talking with your brother, you cannot talk this to your customers. You cannot talk this with your employees. So customer, employees, vendors, media, and there are so many people who are involved everywhere. So you need to send them important information effectively, efficiently, in a clear and concise manner. So there are three important parts of communication. First is transmitting. That is, for example, let us take two parties, two people. What do? First one transmits, or he may be called as a sender. He is a sender. He transmits the information, the message, the talk, or say an email, say a phone, or say one-to-one face talk. So he is sending message, if face-to-face is there, through air, through telephone. You are using electronic medium, or say electromagnetic waves. So this is what you are sending. You are basically sending the message. So when you are sending it, there has to be some party who is going to listen to it. So he is a receiver. So receiver will listen, will get that message, and when he listens or she listens, he will understand that message, that what has come, and finally there will be a feedback. That is, if you say, oh, please come at 9, the listener will hear it and he will say, okay, I'll come. So this is the feedback. This is the feedback mechanism. So there is a complete cycle of communication. This is a communication cycle: transmitter, receiver, and feedback. Let us take an example to understand this more. So there are two people here involved. The blue one, let us say he's a customer. The green one, let us say he is a salesperson. So the customer is saying, do you have the textbook of Beauty Therapist published by the National Council of Educational Research and Training? So you are saying the name of the book, Beauty Therapist. You are also saying the publishing house. So now you have given the message. The salesperson is saying, let me check, because he has received the message. He has understood the message. So when you send, this is the information. So information is transmitted orally because they are face to face. They are standing one in front of another. So information is transmitted orally. By whom? The customer. Now who is the listener? The salesperson. And what about the message? The discussion about the book, that is Beauty Therapist, published by NCERT. Okay, these are involved, these parties are involved. Now what will happen? The salesperson will come back and he'll say, yes, we have the textbook of Beauty Therapist. So this was the first conversation. Second conversation, salesperson is saying, yes, we have the textbook of Beauty Therapist. And the customer is saying, please give me one copy of the textbook. I want to purchase it. So the receiver's response is feedback. After looking at the book, he said, okay, I'm going to give you the book. Customer says, oh, I want to purchase it. So there is a complete cycle. Customer is saying it to salesperson, that is transmitting. Salesperson is understanding, he is giving a response, and let me check. And then salesperson is responding by saying, yes, I have the book. Customer is saying, okay, I'll purchase the book. So the process of conveying a message is complete only when the person receiving it sends the feedback. So communication has a process and it involves various factors and elements. So what is the process of communication? What is the process of communication? Okay, so we have two parties here, the messenger and the recipient or the receiver, the sender and the receiver. So sender, in whatever language, in whichever way, she is coding. That is what she meant. So she is passing the message. Now whenever the message is going, that is the information or the input the messenger is providing or the sender is providing. Now the output is the behavior, how the recipient is going to react when the message through some coding coming from, it can be through spoken words, it can be say some written, say email, etc., written words, it can be graphic also, it can be video also, because today we have normally video call everyone. So now he understands, he decodes the message. So what he is understanding, the messenger also should mean that only, that at least some code should be common in between them. For example, don't stop or don't stop, go. So if you put comma here, don't stop, go. Don't go. So when you put a comma or the way you speak, the sentence will be different. As I said, there are elements of education, communication. So all these bold words you see here are the elements. As I said, we have a sender now and a receiver. Sender is starting the communication. So now he encodes the message in whatever way, because everyone has different way of saying. And now sender sends the message. He can send it through email, he can send it through voice message, he can even call it. On one-to-one talking is, of course, there is a air or sound medium involved. So now the receiver, whatever is the message is coming from the sender, the receiver is going to learn or understand the message. Okay. Now when she understands, she will reply accordingly to the sender, again encoding. And now message is received by the receiver, and now accordingly the response will be given and receiver will reply to the sender. So this cycle will go on and on till the time they both are agree upon. So we have all these, channel is there, sender is there, receiver is there. So all these are the different elements of communication. Okay. So giving information and receiving information. Sender is giving information, receiver is receiving information. So what we saw in just now, the elements of communication cycle, we have a sender, the person who starts or who initiates the communication. Message is actual information that the sender wants to say, convey. The channel is in by what mean the information is being sent. It can be through email, it can be through voice, it can be direct spoken, it can be video, it can be various methods are there. So channel. Then the other party is receiver, the person whom this message is intended, or the person who will receive the message, or who will be responding to the message. So the person to whom the message is sent is receiver. And then we have feedback. The receiver will acknowledge and send the response that, okay, I got this message. So there are common methods of communication. What are the common methods of communication? The first is, in the methods of communication, is the most common one. Face-to-face communication. That is, when you are in front of one another. If you see online classes today, if you learn directly from the teacher, there is a lot of difference. So you understand clearly and quickly what the other person is saying. You also see the body language, the expression, the gesture, the posture. So this will add to the effectiveness of the communication. So this is a fast type of conversation and the most effective type of conversation, and this is the most natural way of communicating. The second one is email. Email is written now. That is, if you are two individuals or many individuals are at different locations, email is the information or message that can be sent to one or multiple people. So this is very flexible, convenient, and very low cost also. So now you are sending a letter digitally. That is email. Notices and poster. So this is more used in advertising. So if you want to send the message to multiple users, a lot of people are involved as a receiver. That is, on a road you put a banner. So there is a sale on Sunday, or you're changing the lunch time of the factory, or say some shop is going to be closed, or some neta or a leader want your vote. All these are done using notices and poster. So actually information is being shared. Now the business meeting, in every establishment institution, you will see the business meetings where number of people, group of people are involved. So this can be related to a business. It can be how to manage the organization. What are the decision? So the personal communication is one, and when most people are more than two, you can call it as meeting. Then the other methods: social network, Facebook, say WhatsApp, Line, Hike, Share, Chat, WeChat. So there are so many. So now blogs, newsletters, website, groups, all are there. So the best thing is to choose the right method for communication. And how to decide it? What is your target audience whom you are going to speak? It is one or multiple. It will change. The communication method will change. What is the cost? You would like to be as economical as possible. What type of information you are going to share or you want to share. If you have some problem, if your say colleague has some problem, you'll just go there and ask. First you'll call. What is urgency and priority? If just a normal call or normal how are you, like, you can just call, and if somebody is not responding, it is okay. But if priority is there, you have to choose a good communication method. So whenever you're talking to your peers, supervisors, supervisors and customers, and even your friends or relative, method of communication will make your relationship stronger. Let us say and take some questions. Which of the following is not an element of communication within the communication process cycle? So channel was there, receiver was there, sender was there, time was not there. So 1D. This is the answer provided by NCERT, okay? You need to apply leave to at work. Which method of communication will you use? Email. Poster is not the way. Newsletter, blog is also not the way. So email is the best one. Second A. By which action can senders send their messages? So now your NCERT book is saying only C is correct, reading. But whenever a sender and receiver is involved, the medium can be anything. The messages can be anything. So gesture, speaking, reading, writing, all are these actions which sender can use to send their messages. Okay? So the answer in my opinion, is all of them. A, B, C, D. This is your answer in the NCERT, third C. But what I'm trying to suggest here is all of these are correct. I hope you got the idea. All are the correct one. All are correct. So now coming to the subjective questions. Make a chart highlighting all the methods of communication. Use markers and colors to highlight differences amongst all. So this we have already discussed just now. So this answer you have to write. You can just add the social media, Facebook, blogs, newsletter also if you want.